Hi, I am Taylor of Taylor Lynn Crochet, and today I am talking about a topic that we don't really talk about on our crochet Instagrams very often, and that is starting a business or having a business and not wanting to talk about it with people that you know in real life, whether that be your friends or your family, uh, you know, Facebook friends, whoever it may be. You just aren't ready necessarily to tell them, or you like to downplay it to people you know in real life because you're not confident sharing that yet because you don't want to feel the judgment. So I just want to let you guys know that if you've ever felt any of those things, even just a little bit, you are not alone. I had over 70 people vote to talk about this subject when I did my poll. I think 3 people said no and all the rest were yes. So it's a very common issue, but we don't know that it's common because we never talk about it, because you kind of start to think that there's no way that anyone else feels this way. Everyone else's family must be so supportive, or even if you have a really supportive mom or sister or aunt, uncle, friend group, whatever, it can still be a little, I don't know, scary, I guess I would say, to tell them, like, hey, I'm starting a business. So I just want to talk about that a little bit. I just want to let you know, like, you are not alone. You're not the only person feeling this way. If 70 people voted, that means there's probably at least 300 more people that didn't bother voting, didn't see my poll, don't follow me on Instagram, but there are tons and tons and tons of people who feel the exact same way you do, no matter what kind of relationship they have with their family. So first, I want to just tell you guys a little bit about me and my life, whether, my relationships with my family and how that might coincide with my business, and then this feeling that you have. So my dad is a small business owner. For any of you who don't know that, I actually work for my dad, and I work with my mom, which she's basically my boss too, so there's that. And then I live with my mom. So I work and live with my mom. I work with my family, so I have no work to family life separation since we're all together all the time. So that might be a little bit different from someone else, because you might be maybe afraid to tell your coworkers that you have this business that you're working on, or maybe you didn't start a business yet because you don't know how to talk about it with coworkers or family, whoever that may be. But that's a little bit about, like, kind of where I'm coming from in my life. My parents, being small business owners, obviously believe in the power of small business. And, my dad started this business over 20 years ago, completely by himself. So it's not something like he inherited or anything like that. It's something he started, built, and grew. So he obviously has a lot of respect for that. So you guys are probably thinking, like, girl, why are you on here talking about, like, you are scared, whatever? Well, here's the thing, guys. While my dad is very happy about the entrepreneurship and all of that other great stuff, he sees crochet, just like a lot of other people see crochet, knitting, sewing, making in general, as a hobby. He does not see it as a viable business. He does not see it as something that can be a full-time income for someone. Maybe he sees it as like a stay-at-home moms can do it and maybe make a little bit of money doing it, but he definitely does not think it's something that you can live off of. I've had conversations with him explaining, like Sorella, Ashley of Sorella, and like Dave Rose and TL Yarn Crafts. Some of them make over $100,000 a year doing this, blogging about crochet and crochet patterns and selling, their knowledge essentially. But to him, that is not sustainable. He thinks maybe it's just like a trending thing. He doesn't know anything about crochet. He's probably seen my blog maybe twice in his whole life that my mom showed him once or twice. But, I mean, he doesn't have Instagram, so he doesn't follow me on that. He has a Facebook, but I'm not even sure if he really knows, like, how to find my business page if he wanted to. Hang on a second, I'll let my dog out. I'm coming. So, my dad has these, I guess, just prefabricated opinions about my business or my hobby, as he would like to call it. And it is what it is. There's no level of charts and graphs and facts and things that I can show him that can make him feel differently. Even if I made a lot of money doing this, I think he's still under the belief that it's not a sustainable income. So to him, it's not a viable business option, and that is okay. Some people, I can't control how he feels about it. I can't control what he thinks about, my business and what I do, and that's fine. And there are going to be people in your life, whether it be your grandparents, a sibling, just a really close friend who thinks this is just like a hobby or something you do in your spare time, and that's okay. You are not going to convince everyone that this is a good idea. You're not going to convince everyone that this is something you can like make full time. Like when I tell my dad and they say, "Hey Papa, you know what I want to do? I want to be a stay-at-home crochet blogger. I want to work from home and blog about crochet and make patterns and sell that, and I want to make an income doing that." He'd be like, "Good one. Yeah, you're going to work at a real job." That's just how he feels about it, and that is totally fine. I'm not going to change his mind. But what I can do is take that, there are times when it stinks. I'm not going to say that like that doesn't affect me, because it does, but you need to take that as like fuel to light your fire, to put even more effort into your business, to keep you even more motivated, to show him that this is a business. This is something that is sustainable and that I can do and make a real thing. So just because someone else is going to have negative feelings about it doesn't mean that you can't take their negativity and spin it into something productive and motivating for you and your business. So that being said, my mom, while at first did not treat this like a business, and that's mostly my fault because I didn't treat it like a business when I first started my blog. I treated it more like a hobby. I talked about it like a hobby. I spent my money frivolously like a hobby. I didn't keep track of how much income I was making or how much I was spending. Was my actual work, my actual paycheck from my actual day job was buying all of my yarn. My pattern sales and my affiliate sales and stuff were not buying all of the things that I was buying for my business. All the money I was spending on my business was not coming from business income. And I've now finally got all my finances separated. I have a better idea that my business actually did make money this year. I made more than I spent, which is, the goal of having a business is to be profitable. And I think me doing that and showing her that and keeping her involved in conversations of like my business plans and ways that I can improve my business and grow my audience and grow my income and stuff like that has helped her see this more as a business, and she's really supportive. And I love her for that. She's probably going to watch this video. Hey Mom. And she watches my YouTube videos because she knows that I need more views to get, that helps me grow. More views help me grow, more thumbs up help me grow, more likes and comments and all of that stuff. And sharing my stuff on Pinterest helps me grow. And she's really supportive in that way. But what you guys might not know is that my mom is actually blocked from my business Instagram. And it's not because I don't like my mom. It's not because I was doing something inappropriate on my blog that I don't want my mom to see. It's nothing like that. I love my mom, but I live with my mom and I work with my mom. And it's a lot of togetherness. And because of that, like, she really what got, like, the first, I should say, like, moment that got her blocked was the fact that, when I first started my business, let me start this off this way, I guess. When I first started my business, my mom did not even have an Instagram. I think she got one, like, a couple months into me starting my business, and she got it for, like, recipes and health stuff. It had nothing to do with, like, me and, like, wanting to see what I was doing. But then she got one, then she started following it. But one day at work, I think I just did my first Instagram Live, which anyone who's done Instagram Lives and you just started doing them know that they can be really nerve-wracking. It's like public speaking, but the only benefit you have is that you can't see everyone looking at you. You're just kind of talking to yourself, but you can see all, like, the view count on the top corner of your screen, and you can see people popping up, and people are listening, people are going to rewatch it. And if anyone has a fear of public speaking, Instagram lives are kind of like public speaking, like they're like the next step down of public speaking. And it can be nerve-wracking, and it's one of those, that thing that you don't want to get judged for, you don't want to get picked on, and you don't, that's why when people I know in real life, them seeing my Instagram lives is like, it makes me nervous. But people that I, connected with online through this crochet community, who I know are going to understand what I'm talking about, they're going to understand the message that I'm sending, it's a lot more calming and easier to talk to people, because I feel like they don't have any of those other judgments about me, because all they're seeing is this right here. They're seeing me talking to them, they see my business, they see my blog, they just don't know like the rest of my life, and I think that makes it a little bit easier. But in that first Instagram live that I did, I can link it below if you guys, it was about Teresa of Desbrossais masterclass, and I had bought it and did the whole course in like 2 days. I went through it all, and I was just doing a review because I know a lot of people are curious about if the masterclass is for them, if it's not. So I will share that below. I also have like a promo code for $25 off if you guys want that. It's just Taylor in all caps 25. But I'll share all that information below if you guys are interested in that. But in that live video, when people would come on and they'd wave, they'd do like the little wave thing at the bottom of the screen in the comments, or say hi to me, I would be like, hey girl, hey, hi. I don't think my mom has ever heard me say the phrase, hey girl, ever in my life. I have in basketball, like basketball practice, or talking to some few friends, but it's not necessarily a side of me my mom is used to seeing / has ever seen. So to her, it was a little comical, and she talked about it with a coworker, I'm gonna say, but he's pretty much our family. So it's not like she's not making fun of me or not trying to. They just kind of got like a little chuckle out of it. But the next time I went to go do an Instagram story, I started it with hey girl or hey guys. I say hey guys a lot, and I instantly was like, oh, darn it, and I delete it and start over, and I started over like 5 times. I ended up just not posting whatever I was going to talk about in that moment. And there were a few other times after that I noticed that I would go, and before I felt completely confident saying, hey guys, this is what's going on, this is what I'm doing, my craft room's so messy, I'm cleaning it for the 800th time, check it out. And I felt like no embarrassment, there's no reluctance, I just did it and I didn't think twice about it. But all of a sudden I found myself pulling back and feeling a little embarrassed or a little self-conscious, where before I didn't feel that, And my mom's comments were not meant to be hurtful. They didn't hurt my feelings by any means. They just kind of like made me second guess myself a little bit and overthink. I'm like, are other people gonna think I say too much? Or are they gonna, like, I say like a lot. I say like all the time. And when I'm talking, I don't notice it, but when I watch the replay of myself talking, I start to notice it. But when people point out those little insecurities that you have or you didn't even have until they pointed them out, it can take away from your business. So I talked about, if you've briefly seen my live because my internet crashed, I talked about how you have essentially 2 personalities. You have your business personality and your personal life personality. It's not that you're 2 different people or they're completely separate, because there is definitely overlap, but a little bit about me, my personal life. I swear a lot. We swear in my household. It's just whatever. But you guys will find, you might find me catching myself. I've probably caught myself a few times in this live where I went to swear and I substituted out for a different word. And that's because on my business page, I do not want like that to be affiliated with my business. I know there are a lot of like awesome crocheters out there who just let it rip and say whatever they want. And I love that. But for like me and my brand, probably have a lot of younger girls and a younger audience that is watching my videos or using my patterns and stuff like that. And then I also have a lot of people who are like, my parents' age or my grandma's age. And I think that they would appreciate the censorship. So I'm trying, know your audience essentially. So because of that, that might be something that you might, if you know me in my personal life, you'd be like, Taylor, normally you would just say it how it is, but you have to censor yourself like a little bit more, and that can be in all things. Like I try not to talk about, You know, I don't even talk about sports or politics or anything controversial on my business page ever, because, you know, you never know who you're talking to might have a completely opposite opinion of you. So you want to stay away from that stuff, because, you know, it doesn't have anything to do with your business. So there's, you know, keep the hard feelings, you know, save yourself the hard feelings, save someone else the hard feelings. You don't want to open up that can of worms. And that's okay. Like, that's okay to do that. It's okay to protect your business. It's okay to protect your own feelings and keep your private life private. I just now started doing where I'm, you know, I like to keep my Facebook private away from my business, like my personal Facebook. And if people know me in real life, yeah, then we can be Facebook friends. But if I don't know you in real life, outside of like our crochet community, then you send me a Facebook friend request, I might not accept it. But that's, you know, something I do for me and my business, and something I do for my personal life. It's okay to separate the two. So, long story short, my mom is blocked from Instagram. And I just made that decision after I found myself being reluctant to post stories after that. And I love my mom, and she knows that, and she's gonna watch this video right here on YouTube probably, so hi Mom. And that's totally okay, and I'm fine with her watching my videos. It's just the nervousness I felt before with her maybe even hopping on my live, or just like the comments that might come from it. I don't feel that anymore. Because I set that boundary. I put that boundary up. My mom technically can still go make another Instagram account and view my stuff, because I'm not going to know. I have over 4,000 followers. I'm not going to know if she's made a second account and did it, whatever. I don't think it's that important to her either. So it's not something I worry about, but it's okay to tell people in your life, people you love, people who love you, you know, you're blocked. Essentially, it's okay. It's, you know, it's not going to cause hard feelings. It might for like a hot second, but they'll get over it, and you'll get over it, and that you'll move on from it. But my mom knew about my business before I blocked her, and knew about my Instagram. But, you know, you could have people, if you start a separate business account for your Instagram, which I totally suggest that you do not run your business to your personal page. They should be separate, because you might have something that's personal, whether that be like pictures of you and your boyfriend at a wedding, or you and your husband, and you want to share that. Well, people on your business page might not care. Or it might just be something that totally interrupts your feed. It's not really relating with your audience. So that's something you maybe keep on your personal page. And that's my opinion, you guys. You can run your business however you want to. If you want to keep it on one page, that's totally fine. But that's just how I personally like to do mine. And you can make a business page. Instagram is just another Instagram page with just a separate email. And if you don't want your mom or your aunt or your cousin or, you know, Jenny from high school happening upon your page, even though you didn't share it with them, you can block people right to start. You can always unblock them later. It's, you know, people don't know if you block them. It's not a big deal. You have to do what's right for you, and you have to do what's right for your business. So do not be afraid to put your foot down and say, no, this is, you know, my business needs me to block my grandpa, because I can't share my pictures of me and my crochet tops that I make if my grandpa's seeing them. You know, you gotta do it for the business. You have to do it for your business. You have to do it for your personal sanity sometimes. And don't let anyone tell you that that's wrong, because it's not. It's not wrong to protect your business. It's not wrong to protect yourself. And save yourself the stress. It's going to cause you a lot of undue stress if you're constantly worrying about these things. So let's limit those stresses. And, you know, Instagram has that block feature for a reason. And don't be afraid to use it. Don't think it's a bad thing, because it's not. Everyone will still love you, I promise. Let's talk about the next thing. So, like I talked about my dad, and he's not necessarily, you know, totally gung-ho about this business I have. But I found that if you treat it like a business, other people will treat it like a business. This goes when you talk to your coworkers. So that's another thing. A lot of people said coworkers, talking to their coworkers about their crochet or side business or side hustle is a little nerve-wracking. You don't know how to word it. You don't know, you know, it's just uncomfortable. You feel like you instantly, to yourself, the voice in your head says they're going to downplay it as a hobby, so I'm going to downplay it as a hobby. Don't. Sell it for what it is. It is a business. It's something you're passionate about. You know, you sell crochet patterns, you sell finished items. People that you know in real life might actually become your biggest fans. I know when I first started my business, I didn't talk about it with people I knew in real life unless I knew that then people crocheted. Katie of Hanoverian Crochet Co., me and her were gym partners for like over a month before one of our guy friends at the gym, Lloyd, came up and said something like, "Oh, you guys talking about crochet?" And we both like kind of looked at him and we're like, "No." And we didn't realize that like we both crocheted. And Katie actually ended up finding, and I didn't think anything of it at that point in time. I was thinking, Katie doesn't want to talk about yarn with me. And she was probably thinking the same thing, but come to find out, she found one of my things on Pinterest because she was searching for crochet patterns, and she found my blog, and she messaged me and said, "Oh my gosh, like I just found you on Pinterest. I found your blog. I didn't even make the connection that that was you. I crochet too." And so now I have this in real life friend that I can talk to you about all of my business stuff and all of my other stuff like that, which is awesome. I love having people that I know in real life that understand my business and understand me and my personality as like my private life versus in my personality as my business life, because we all have that a little bit. Katie can definitely relate to me with the things you decide to share in social media and the things you don't. And I think that it's okay if you were like me and you don't talk about crochet with every person you meet. If you don't talk about knitting or making or whatever you do, you don't have to. You do not have to. Your business will still grow. You will still keep getting followers on Instagram. You'll still keep getting views on your website, and you'll still keep getting sales on your Etsy or whatever kind of platform that you're on. You know, and the people, I probably have aunts and uncles who don't know. Well, I shouldn't say that. For the first year I did this, I probably had a lot of family members who were completely unaware that I even had a business. Probably over half the people I went to high school with probably are completely unaware that I have a business. But now that I've grown and I feel more comfortable and I feel more stable and put together, and you know, I feel like legit, like I'm like, I made it, I'm legit, guys, so like now I can share it with everybody. You might never hit that point. You might hit that point after the first week. Everyone's different. Everyone, it's not necessarily a certain, like, you get to X amount of followers or X amount of blog views or certain whatever dollar amount of income that you feel that way. It's different for every single person. You might sell your first pattern, just one pattern for $5 and be like, that's it. I'm a legit business owner. You know, everyone give me a round of applause. And that's great. I applaud you for being like that. It took a lot longer for me to get to that point. You know, it took a lot more sales. It took a lot more blog views. It took a lot more blog posts. It took a lot of hours and hours of working at home for me to feel like I can call myself a business. So don't let anyone feel like pressure you into telling you you're just a hobby because you don't make money doing this. Joe at work, I love him. I've known him literally since I was like 5. He's worked with my family, and he says things like, how much money do you really make an hour for how much time you invest? You invest a lot of time, you don't make a lot of money. Well, I mean, I probably don't make all that much an hour, but I will tell you this, I would still do probably 80% of the things I do if I made $0. If I broke even, I would still do it. And the great thing about this business is that I'm constantly learning new things. I'm constantly learning new ways to add revenue into my shop. I'm constantly learning ways to grow my profit margin and increase my sales and grow my audience and all those things. And the more you do it, the more you'll learn. But I don't let his comments discourage me. I, again, just add those to the pile of fuel my fire and fuel my motivation. And one day I'll tell Joe that I make more money doing my side business than I did working a regular 9-to-5 job. And maybe I won't. And it's not a big deal whether I do or I don't, but the long story short, you know, at the end of the day is this makes me happy. I am so much, I have girls in class who, where I'm going to school for heating and cooling right now, and I have 2 girls in my classes, and they made the comment about how much happier and how much more high energy I am on my business Instagram than I normally am in real life, and that part of that comes with, you know, the separate personalities you have for your business and for your blog. But the other side of that is I'm passionate about crochet and making and blogging. Am I necessarily 100% passionate about fixing people's furnaces and knowing all that stuff? No. Do I think I need to know that stuff? Yes. It's very intertwined with my life and my family and my work and all the stuff that I currently do, and I think it'll definitely do nothing but help me later in life. But it doesn't light the same passion fire. It's more of a necessity than like a want or like, you know what I mean? But crochet and like blogging, especially like talking about business stuff with you guys, makes me so happy. It makes me excited. I get like all kinds of riled up and ready to go. I get really pumped about having these sorts of conversations. I really wish this was an Instagram Live because I love interacting with you guys in Instagram Lives, which, you know, if you would have told me 2 years ago that I'd be doing live like shots on the internet and talking to people and talking for, you know, 20-30 minutes. I've had Instagram Lives go for an hour and they cut me off. I would have laughed and said, yeah, that's never going to happen. You couldn't pay me enough, and here I am doing it for free. That's like what a business can do for you, even if right now you feel really unsure and unconfident, because I've been there. I was definitely there. I was there for a long time. Now I am confident. You know, when people tell me, you're not going to make it or that's unrealistic, you know, I can be like, shove it, don't care. I know it's for real. I know it's legit. I know I can do this. I don't feel that. I also have the awesome support of a great boyfriend. Trevor, you guys have probably seen him in my market prep videos, sometimes on my stories, but he is, you know, all you need is one really supportive person. Everyone else can be haters and be mean and downplay what you do or, you know, whatever. If you have one person that you can talk to, it doesn't even have to be like Ashley of Crafty Concept. She's my other super supportive person. She's like my biggest fan. I love her to death. I love everything she does. We talk to each other daily. We FaceTime, we whatever. And we've never even met in real life. Not yet. We're going to. That's like a thing that's going to happen. But don't think that your immediate family and your spouse or, you know, the best friends you grew up your whole life are going to have to be your only like biggest fans or they're your only support system, because you will meet people in this business outside of them that can be your support system. But luckily for me, I do have Trevor, and he is amazing. He helps me set up for all of my craft shows. He has learned how to use my Addy machine and helped me make market prep. He puts up, he does all my laundry. He does all of his laundry too, which is great because people who are makers like me, you guys probably have noticed that the more you make, the dirtier your house becomes, partly because you're getting yarn all over and partly because you're spending so much time making, you don't have as much time to clean and do like other adult life things. And I'm lucky enough to have someone in my life who picks up that slack and that thing that my business eats up all that time. And he's extremely supportive. And I love that. But like I said, even if he was the only person in my life who was supportive, that would be enough for me. And I think you just have to find those people, your tribe of people, your tribe of supporters that are going to support you, and let them carry you through all the people who are naysayers. And that's okay. Like I said, some people, you know, Papa included, love him to death, and he loves me to death, and he wants nothing but the best for me. But he thinks that this is a short-term hobby. And it could be a short-term thing, but it doesn't mean that it's not a business, and it doesn't mean that it's not meaningful, because it is. And I'm just going to leave you guys with that, just something to think about something to think about. And everyone has these fears. Not everyone. Most people have these fears. Don't think it's just you. If you want to DM me and talk about it, if enough people message me or leave comments below, we can make a Facebook group that's just talks about different ways people have coped with this, different problems that people have that are arising. Because I want you guys to feel supported. Maybe you'll find your super supportive person in that Facebook group. If that's something you guys want to do, definitely leave a comment below. And we can get that going. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, if you want to see my crochet tutorials, my Addy tutorials, market setups, market day vlogs, any of that stuff. I also post all my Instagram lives on my channel. So if you've seen my Instagram lives before and wondered like if you could watch a replay somewhere, I do have them all on my YouTube channel. So definitely subscribe. And I hope at least one of you found this helpful. And let's just be supportive and help each other grow. And if you have not started your business yet, because these are your fears, start it. Make that Etsy shop, make that Facebook page, make that business Instagram account. You do not need your high school friends to share your page in order to grow. You know, fall back onto this awesome crochet community we have. Fall back on the crafty friends you've made. Even if you have, I didn't know a single other person that did crafts, or at least I might have known people who did crafts, but I didn't know that they crafted before I started my business. You don't need that. You don't need that in order to be successful and grow and gain followers and gain views and gain sales. You do not need that. So if you've been hesitant to start, please start. If you've been hesitant to grow because these feelings are holding you back, don't be hesitant. If you've been hesitant to talk about what you do for your side hustle, your business or whatever, do not talk about it. Be proud of it. Tell them you have a business. Don't tell them you do it for a hobby. You know, show that you're completely 100% invested in this, and people will react the way that you want them to react because you're putting those positive thoughts out into the world. So I wish you guys the best. I definitely can talk for another half an hour about this, but I'm not going to. I'm going to stop it right here. And I hope that you guys just have a wonderful business experience after this. I hope you have an awesome life experience after this, and that this video maybe just helped give you a little bit more motivation to just feel empowered and go about with your stuff. So I'll talk to you guys later, and see you next time.